Let me be your leader.
I think inside is probably one of the best things that humans ever invented. I mean, even on a nice, uncharacteristically nice day in Luzhou, like today, outside there's so many variables. There's the sun, which is nice but so bright and is noisy. Inside I can control everything. Although, maybe I have an unreasonable expectation about how much I should be able to control. Is it that houses are the problem? In my bedroom at home, I have an air filter and a sun lamp and a recently purchased dehumidifier so that everything in my room can be perfect sleeping conditions. And I would have that for every room in my house, except that it's expensive and the electricity to run it is expensive. I did check the documentation on the air filter, says that it does not, in electricity consumption, add more pollution than it takes out of the atmosphere, so that's good. And the sun lamp's for the plants. The sun lamp's not for sleeping. Am I a maniac? I mean, there's an aspect of Luzhou is humid and uncomfortable, and our house isn't built tight enough against the mold, and I have terrible allergies. So there is some amount of the atmosphere I do want to control, and I also want to be conscious that I don't want to add more pollution outside my room, because that's just displacing the problem. And you could say, like, why don't you move? But we did move, and we didn't like the place that we moved, so we moved back, if you know our personal history. And also, that's not an option for everybody who lives a place that's suboptimal. You have to be pretty wealthy to be able to choose exactly where you want to live and have the conditions be perfect, and then shape the rest of it to your specifications. And this is where the inequality comes in. I can afford an air filter because the air in my city is polluted. But it kind of feels like it shouldn't be my responsibility to make sure the air is clean. It feels like maybe a governing body or society should be worried about doing something about air pollution. I don't know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. The way things are going, if we get to a condition where you have to buy clean air, you have to, there are totally companies who would be willing to sell it to you. And then we just accept it like we accept that you have to pay for water and that you have to pay for, I don't know, everything else we have to pay for. I think, like, we shouldn't. It's a big plane I'm trying to land here, but basically it's not even guilt, but just the balance I'm trying to strike is what is the maximum comfort I can create for myself while still taking care of the planet, and what is the maximum comfort we should be able to accord to all human beings. I mean, the thing that really got me started on this train of thought was reading about dehumidifiers that the ideal humidity is below 50% because then that inhibits, like, the mold and spores growth. When I turn the dehumidifier on, it's regularly above 80, sometimes 90%. It's never been below 50%, and I just can't run it long enough for it to get that way. And it's like, that's just not a thing I can control, even though my health does depend on it. It's less healthy for me, precious allergy sufferer that I am, to have this manky, danky air. But it's the air that's here. And we don't have the power, and maybe we shouldn't have the power to just make every room hermetically sealed and ideal breathing conditions for you. Because think of how many resources that would use, and think of how horrible that would make the air outside. That baby's certainly not happy about it.